Hey folks, welcome back. In today's episode, we're going to be using that billet of stainless clad MAI to forge a steak knife. Now, I have the template right here. What we're going to do first is cut off the ends where it didn't weld fully, and then we're going to chop the billet in half lengthwise, and then that'll give us the right amount of steel to then spread out to make our steak knives. So let's get started. So we have our billet. It is very, very thick, but all the welds look solid even in the middle, so that's good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna heat up the forge and then turn it into this. Now, with MAI, I don't forge it too much to shape just because I'm terrified of the welds getting messed up. So what we'll do is we'll get it mostly to the width and thickness we need, and then a majority of the profiling is gonna probably be on the grinder. So our billet of steel is now forged to the correct dimensions. I have normalized it twice in the forge, and that's usually what I do for all my blades. I do twice in the forge, and now I'm going to do very, very specific temperature normalizing cycles in the kiln. Basically what normalizing is heating it up to a critical temperature and then letting it air cool till it's no longer glowing. What that does is that reduces that grain structure in the steel, which in turn makes for a stronger blade. It also relaxes any stress built up from forge welding and forging, which also helps mitigate warping when you do quench it. So it's an important step. I'm going to do 4 cycles at gradually reducing temperatures. So the first one's at 1600, then I'll do 1550, 1500, and then 1450, and then I'll anneal it. That way I don't have to do any normalizing after it's ground. I can just go straight into the quench. Alright, so it's the next morning. Our billet has had time to cool down overnight. We are now going to lay out the template and start getting this to the profile. Our steak knife is now ready for heat treat. All the edges are rounded over, the edge is still nice and robust. The core is peeking through. The tang has been tapered, fullered, and lightened. And once the kiln is done heating up, we're going to go ahead and heat treat this thing. I'm going to be heat treating it the exact way I heat treat all my mono steel CrewForge V blades. Alright folks, thank you so much for watching. We're going to let that blade temper, and then in the next video we're going to be doing the finish grinding, the polishing, and potentially even the handle. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.